I was a victim of abuse.
Alright VYG, so we're back with another tip, and it's the second touchy subject. This week we're dealing with abuse, and I've actually got my wife along with me now because she's going to help give some advice on how to overcome this touchy subject.
Before I started to take my faith seriously, I was in a relationship whereby the person I was with tried to rape me. I managed to get myself out of the situation, but it still affected me mentally. So I'm here to give you 3 tips on how to overcome any type of abuse. Tip number 1, forgive yourself. One of the worst things you can do is keep blaming yourself, especially for something that was out of your control. Obviously, there's certain things that you can do to prevent yourself from being in certain situations, but there'll always be people with evil intentions. So if you keep blaming yourself, you'll stop yourself from moving forward, no matter the type of abuse it is. So this is the first tip, forgive yourself. Tip number 2, forgive the person. This second tip is something that most struggle with, especially when you keep on remembering the incident or the situation that happened. But sometimes it's good to always look at the other person with mercy and even pity. In many cases, the person has been a victim of abuse themselves and they're just reenacting what they'd learnt. So this is tip number 2, forgive the person. Tip number 3, build a strong relationship with God. One of the greatest characteristics God has is that He's a comforter, and He has the ability to heal us internally. So the closer you get to God, over time you're going to see all this hurt, all this abuse, whatever feelings that you have inside. The closer you get to Him, you're going to see all of that will be washed away. So, tip number 3 is build a strong relationship with God.
Alright, so please, I'm not going to try to deceive any of you into believing that those 3 tips, just as simply as they were put, is going to solve all the trauma that many of you have faced because of abuse. But it's a start. And if you do need more help, feel free to contact your closest VYG. Help will be available. But now I want to take this touchy subject to a different angle. And there's a reason why this is called Dear Abuser. Because I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to you, the person who's actually been involved in the abuse. The one that's actually committed the abuse. And I want you to have a look at this footage right now. What do you think about this? Someone treating money, someone treating something so precious in this way, so valuable in this way. What did you think about that? If you saw that in the middle of the street, you would think whoever's involved in that would be completely mad. And you know what? You watching this now, and you're actually maybe involved in abuse, or you've done so in the past, that's exactly what you're doing, but on a much more serious scale. You see, when you abuse someone, whether it be sexually, physically, emotionally, however the abuse takes place, you are destroying something valuable. I've dealt with so many cases along the years of abuse, people who, because of one act that was committed carelessly, it steered someone's life on a journey that if they didn't get in contact with God, maybe they'd never ever recover. That's what you're doing. So think about that the next time you raise your hand, your fist, or send out a negative word to someone. Think about the fact that you're taking something that is more valuable than anything else in this world. I'm speaking about a human life. I'm speaking about someone's future. And you're destroying it. And I'm sure the next time before you take that action, you'll realize that this touchy subject called abuse is something that you should have no part in. Until next time, whether you are the abuser or you are the victim, make sure you apply this tip, and soon you'll become the youth you were always meant to be. Take care.